Well, I thought first 15 minutes, our team played as well as they have all season long. Our defense, our aggressiveness really beat LMU on the boards, controlled the paint, and just played with great energy. The ball was popping. We were making the extra pass, getting high percentage shots. But the last 5 minutes of the half, after we had built an 11-point lead, Loyola goes on a run to tie the game. And so we had some contested twos. We turned the ball over some, and that was enough to get Loyola out in transition to be able to go on that 11-0 run and kind of seize momentum to finish the half. And then they came right out in the second half, and the first 8 minutes they continued their run, a 7-0 run, and what ultimately ended up being a 25-2 run over a 13-minute period between the end of the first half and the beginning of the second half. And that was it. It was all she wrote. We never really counterpunched. They're an experienced team, and I thought you could see that in their counterpunching and the run that they went on. And our youth showed itself both offensively. We forced some shots. We drove the ball into crowds and then tried to pass the ball into the crowd instead of getting windows and getting better spacing where we could pass the ball out of a crowd instead of trying to pass it into a crowd. And then also defensively, that when you're having a night or a stretch within a game where you're in the desert, you're not shooting the ball well, you got to still hold the rope defensively and not allow a team to boat race and go on a 25-2 run. And our lead quickly evaporated, and Loyola closed out in strong fashion. So hats off to them, and a report card for us in terms of understanding how to close halves, how to start halves. We always talk about there are 4 5-minute segments. The whole game's important, but you start a game by setting a tone and imposing your will on an opponent. The first 5 minutes, you close a half, and you want to go into halftime with momentum by those last 5 minutes, imposing your will and finishing in a strong fashion. Then you got to start the second half and seize the momentum or sustain it or get it back if you lost it. In our case, this half, we lost that momentum. And then down the stretch, obviously games are decided so often in those final 5 minutes. So I thought for 15 minutes we played terrific basketball, and then for 25 minutes Loyola counterpunched, and that was all she wrote.
Mm-hmm. Coming up next, going up north, got Pacific, a team we beat, and then Santa Clara, quadrant 1 game that we only lost by 1. How do you approach those?
Yeah, I think with us, we understand we're one of the youngest teams in the country, and it's just about getting better. We naturally want to punch through the winner's circle. We want to win games and get off the snide. We'll continue to examine, different schemes offensively and defensively. We naturally are going to look at, lineups. What lineups, will provide us the chance to be competitive. And for the most part, we have been competitive in games, but our youth shows itself. Still, sometimes the self-inflicted wounds. Not necessarily the number of turnovers. Sometimes it's the timing of the turnovers that are critical, or missed opportunities at point-blank range where we don't finish or complete an inside shot, a high percentage look. And I also think we got to share the ball more. Today we forced some shots, some contested twos, which will undermine your chance to be successful at this level. Threes and layups are high percentage shots. Contested twos, not good. And we took a lot of contested twos. I think if you look at our numbers in terms of the backcourt and the perimeter, we had anemic numbers in terms of shooting percentage, but that was tied into our judgment. We got to be able to share the ball, find the open man, and make good choices, make winning decisions. And again, it's a process with a young group, and I understand that, and being patient, but also the appropriate fire. We tried different combinations. We used our bench. We substituted liberally, trying to get a combination out there that would be effective. And again, the positive is let's build on the 15 minutes where we played terrific basketball, but we got to minimize runs. We're not going to shut a team out. No one has in modern day history. But let's minimize the runs. If a run is 5-0 and then we counter, or it's 8-3, that's one thing. But 25-2 is a run that's going to put you in a position where probably it's an insurmountable deficit. So we've got to hang tough with our defense and offensively be more efficient.